I'm gonna ask any old school hip hop heads in here. Any old school hip hop heads in here? Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I want to remind you guys that Lord Jamar is our keynote speaker today. He should be coming in around 4 p.m. And also, he'll be leaving here to go over to Leonti's, which is right across the way. He'll be hosting a day party. So I think that sounds pretty phenomenal. Lord Jamar on the ones and twos, punched up to get beat down, all that good action. So yes, please get over there and check that out. The next speaker we have coming up, we got another phenomenal sister coming up here. Her name is Jasmine Andrews. Yes, and she is a best-selling author, okay? We got all these black people doing phenomenal things. So her book is called The Sullied Bride. I'm interested in finding out, like that title intrigued me. So I'm ready for you to come on. Y'all give it up for Miss Jasmine.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, my name is Jasmine Andrews. I'm the author of Sullied Bride. This book is about how people misuse the scripture to abuse women, and it corrects the lies that women have been taught in church. Now, the theme for this event is It Takes a Village. And what I'm going to talk about is how one heart reflects another. Because you do not know what your sin is until you encounter another person. Now, you can sin by yourself. It's rare. It happens. But for the most part, it's when you encounter another person that your sin is revealed. Just like if you have bad kids, you don't know it until you are around single friends. So the woman reveals what is in the man's heart. The woman reveals man's sin. That is why God put her in the garden, and most people don't realize this. But the woman knows you intimately. She knows if you are the type of person who's going to finish the race or if you're going to give up early and quit in the middle. She knows if you're diligent or you're going to leave your projects unfinished. A woman knows who you are. Now, it was revealed who Adam was when Eve was put in the garden, because nothing was happening when Adam was there by himself. And then God said it's not good for man to be alone. And so let's look at the character of Adam. In Genesis 3:6, it says that Eve gave the fruit to her husband who was with her, meaning that Adam was standing there the entire time the snake deceived her, and Adam didn't say a word, which means Adam didn't have a fight in him. He was willing to watch his wife eat the fruit of death and not say anything. So in a lot of ways, the woman revealed that Adam was a wimp. And then she also revealed that Adam wanted to blame other people for his faults. Because instead of standing up to the snake, as soon as he heard the lie and said, "This is Eden," and kicked him right out, "You're conveniently standing by the tree of death." No, what does Adam do? He stands there and doesn't say anything. Adam was weak. People like to say that women are too strong and it's emasculating men, but strong women do not emasculate men. Weak men emasculate men. And now you have Adam and his son Cain, who was a murderer. And this is a pattern that's established throughout time and continues today. You disrespect the woman in your life, and then the next result is violence in the community. And this is what we have. We have a lot of black women who are being disrespected by black men, and there's violence in the community because if you don't respect the person that's intimate with you, if you don't respect the woman that is in your life, you are not going to respect other people. You're not going to respect your brothers and sisters in the street. You're not going to respect authority figures. Now, how did we get to this point? Now, some believe and teach that a lot of this has come from the negative effects of slavery that's had on the relationship between the black man and the black woman. And yes, some of that's true. But let's go back to Egypt in a time when there were black kings and queens ruling the land. How did the black man treat the black woman then? Well, I have a reference here from Robert Morcott's study of Egyptian ethics, in which he teaches that love your wife, good, fill her belly and clothe her back, give her ointment for her body, gladden her heart as long as you live. She is a fertile field for her Lord, but keep her from power. So, you see the ethics. There's the love, there's the clothing, there's the support, but keep her from power. And that has been the goal, because when we look at Egypt and the glory of everything Egypt represents with black men in power and kings and queens, we see these images of these great pharaohs. But you have to remember, Pharaoh is the 1%. Pharaoh had slaves building those treasure cities. So although when we think about black pride and going back to our roots, we all see ourselves as Pharaoh. We see ourselves as the ruling authorities because those are the images. We have to realize that slave labor built those. Pharaoh, to you, for every Pharaoh, there's 1 million slaves carving Pharaoh's name into the stone. So Pharaoh's going to look at you, average person, and you might think you are representing Egypt and the glory of this great kingdom. And Pharaoh's going to say, what, do you think treasure cities are going to build themselves? Get back to work. You are my slave. So you have to remember that we are not going back to Egypt. We're not going back to the idols of Egypt, because Egypt was also a city full of idols. Egypt represents this hierarchy that's established where there is one man in power and everyone else serves that one man. And that is not correct, because we are here to serve God and his son, Yeshua, Jesus as he's typically referred to. So, let's talk about the issue of what it means for black women to be queens. You have to remember, a queen is a subject of the king. So she's a high-ranking official, but a queen is still a servant. If you are playing cards and you pull out the queen, you think you have a good card. But somebody comes with the king is not looking to the queen and saying, hey, we're equal, so I suppose that this is a draw here. No, the king cuts the queen. This whole thing about, thank you, my beautiful black queen, and yes, that says a lot. It says your position of power, but you're also saying, you are my subject. And so the woman has to be treated as an equal, and this concept of the woman being beneath the man originated in Egypt. And so for black people to arise and come out of this, first, we have to not return to the idols of Egypt. And secondly, we cannot continue in striving for Egyptian ethics, which is to keep the woman from power. And so the woman has to be empowered if we are going to progress as a people. So my book, Sullied Bride, speaks directly into this issue. So all women who want to be empowered, please come to my table, check out the book. You can find Sullied Bride on Amazon.com. It's available at Barnes & Nobles, and you can find it wherever Christian books are sold. Thank you.